Good morning, everyone. My name is Amanda Waldhart, and you are here with Amanda's InspirationStation.com. And this is Wednesday, October 7th. So it is my weekly Wednesday. Yay! And as I was last month designing my October weekly Wednesday projects, I was looking at the calendar and I was like, I wonder how many Wednesdays are now until Christmas. And when I counted it out, there was exactly starting today, 12 Wednesdays before Christmas. Now, some of you are probably like, oh, why did you just say that? But I was thinking to myself how, everybody does the whole 12 days before Christmas. So I'm going to do 12 Wednesdays before Christmas. So every Wednesday going forward, I'm going to do some sort of thing that is either Christmas or something that you can use for Christmas. Now, granted, you could use it for other things too, but I just thought what a fun way to do this, especially since we're working a lot right now out of our August through December mini Stampin' Up! Catalog. So the thing that I'm going to show you today, I have a card. This is the card that we're going to do, and this may look familiar to some of you. This stamp set is called the Christmas Gleaming, and it actually was in last year's holiday catalog. This is the very first year that they, Stampin' Up! Has decided to carry over a few items that were really popular last year, and they'll carry them over to this year's holiday catalog, which I really like because they're really popular and they're great products and I love them. So we are going to be using this stamp set. And of course I have the paper we're using to the Christmas Gleaming paper, but the designer series paper, but I've added some different elements to it. So this is going to be the card. And then the second thing is I'm going to show you how to do a really cute card / gift holder. So especially like at Christmas time, if you give maybe somebody a gift card, or maybe it's your employee or your friend, whatever. So this is a belly band and we're just take it off. And this is made with an envelope and you just open up. This is where you would write or stamp your sentiment. And then this is the envelope and you would just lift up the flap and this is where your gift card would go. Okay. So it's like a card and a gift card all in one. All right, so that is what I'm going to show you today. So let's go ahead and we're going to start with the envelope first because I love it and it's super cute. Except for I just realized I don't have an envelope out. I have everything else out but an envelope. Funny. Okay, so I'm using the Very Vanilla regular size medium envelopes. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out my bone folder here. I am literally just cutting or just folding this in half, lining it up, and then I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to go like this with it. All right. We're just going to get that crease in there like that. Okay. Now, I want to have this flap be where you can flip it up and down, but this flap I don't. So we're going to have to cut now just on the top here on our score line up to the top part of the envelope score line. So I'm just going to take my paper snips here and I'm just going to do this. Okay. Now you can do either side. I mean, if you want your card part to be here and then your gift card on this side, you can totally do that. That's not how I did it, but doesn't matter. So I'm going to lick that. Ugh, always tastes gross, but so I want that down. And now I have my flap. Okay, so let's go ahead and we can actually do the inside if we want to do that first. So I do have 2 pieces of Mossy Meadow cardstock, both measuring at 4 1/4 by 3 3/4, because that's what's going to go on the inside here. And that's also going to be my first layer on the outside. Okay, so those are going to be those layers. Then we have 2 others. I have a Very Vanilla piece and I have the Designer Series piece. These both measure the same as well. They measure at 4 by 2 1/2. Okay, so this one's going to go on the outside, overlapping this because I just like layers and it gives it a little extra fun stuff. And then this one's going to go on the inside. And I didn't stamp anything on the inside because I wanted to write. So I'm not going to stamp anything today, but you can easily, if you know, you just want to stamp something in there, you can. These gift cards are super cute too for any occasion. I mean, you can do it for birthdays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, wedding, you name it. They're just some cute, really easy ways to make a cute card / gift card and envelope all in one. All right, so I just placed that on the inside. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach my designer series paper here to my Mossy Meadow cardstock. And then we're going to do that too. Now, I would not recommend using dimensionals to pop these up unless you plan on making a really big belly band. You want your belly band to just slide easily on it. So that's why I do place these flat. And with the 2 layers here and the 2 layers here, it actually makes it very sturdy. Okay. Now I have another piece of designer series paper, and I'm going to this time use just the green inside, not this inside. And this here measures at 2.5 by 3. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of open my envelope because I just want to cover this part of my envelope. I'm just kind of adding that. So I'm going to line it right up to the line, the top line of the envelope, and line it up to here. I'm just going to place that flat. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm just going to take my paper snips and I'm just going to cut around like that. All right. There. Now you just have this. Now you can put your gift card right inside, write your sentiment, and that part's done. So now we want to do our belly band. Okay. So the belly band measures at 6.5 by 1 1/4. And I did Night of Navy. And I actually, we're going to use the, I don't know, mistletoe type thing. But instead of, I was thinking about this. And I was like, oh, you know, this would look, you know, everybody always does green and red for mistletoe. But then I'm like, isn't like boysenberries blue? I don't know. Maybe I should have said that on, you know, a video. But I was like, I like them blue. They're cute. And maybe not everybody, maybe somebody wants blueberries. So blueberries or boysenberries. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to ink it up. And I am using the Memento ink because we are going to use our blends and we don't want it to bleed. This is just a scrap piece of Very Vanilla. And I'm just going to stamp that image. You just need a scrap piece because we're going to fussy cut that out. Okay. So the 3 blends that I'm using today is I'm using the light and dark of the Old Olive, and then I'm using the dark Night of Navy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to color in the leaves here, and I'm just going to color in the leaves all the light Old Olive. And I'm just going to color it right on in, okay? Same with this side. Although, speaking of 12 weeks before Christmas, I know that was crazy that I opened it up with that, but seriously, can you guys believe it's already October already? It's like, man, for as much craziness that has gone on in the world this year, it's October already. All right, so now I'm going to use my dark Old Olive, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over the lines of the leaves that are already in here. I'm just going to kind of give it that. There we go. Just gives it the 2-tone color. And for the berries, I'm just going to color them straight in, and I'm going to color them all the dark. I could do the light and then, you know, maybe do that little dot in the circle dark, but I like it dark, so I'm just going to do it all dark. So there we go. All right, now we need to fussy cut this out. And actually, before we fussy cut this out, we're also going to use the same thing. I probably should have brought this down a little bit more, but I still have room. This Merry Christmas here, we're going to stamp this in, not Night of Navy. I don't know why I grabbed Night of Navy. We're going to stamp it in the Pretty Peacock, sorry. So I'm going to get out that, and I'm going to ink up my stamper there, and I'm just gonna put that at the top. And it doesn't really matter if it's crooked or not, if you stamp that crooked, because we're gonna fussy cut that out too. All right, and that one's a lot easier to fussy cut, but there is tricks to fussy cutting. If you just move your scissor with the natural part that you're trying to cut around, it actually works really well. It's when you take your scissors out and do this, and then you go back in again. I mean, you can just move your scissors like that. And I am going to do that though. So you're just kind of moving it in there. I mean, everybody has their own way of doing it. However is easiest for you. So I'm almost done here. I'm going to slash that around. All right. I forgot how much I love these colors together, like Old Olive and Night and Navy and Pretty Peacock. I think they're really pretty together. Very rich colors. I like them. All right, so there we are on our last little berry. Perfect. Now with this one, obviously this one's pretty simple. I am going to kind of leave a small little very vanilla around the edge, just to kind of give it a little bit of a border instead of cutting it right up to the Pretty Peacock. All right, so now we have our thing here. What I'm going to suggest that you do is you could do one of two things. You could wrap this like this, wrap it around like this, put your tear and tape here, and then shut it like this, and then decorate the outside. But then you have this seam in the back. Now, I did this seam in the front, and the reason why I did that is because once I put this on there, which, you know, of course, I did it a little backwards here. That's okay. We can do it the opposite here like this. That's not a big deal. We can cover that seam. But if that's not a big deal to you, then that's fine. Clearly, I probably should have moved mine over a little bit more because now it's kind of in the center, but yeah, it works. All right, so let's go ahead. I got my tear and tape here, and I'm just going to, that piece is a little too big. I'm going to get my tear and tape here. Tear and tape, I tell you, I love this stuff, but sometimes it is sticky. All right, so I'm just going to kind of go like that. All right, so mine is kind of in the center, so I can do one of two things. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop it like that, angle it like that. So I am going to get out my dimensionals, and I'm just going to kind of put my dimensional there. And I'm going to angle the leaf up so it covers that seam right there. And then you can use your mini dimensionals, which I would have probably, but I had this on my finger, so we're going to go with it. And you just cut it in half here. All right. And then I'm going to pop this up if it's not sticking to my finger. And I'm just going to go like this to it. There. All right, so now we have our belly band on this one. We have our belly band on this one. What a great little card / gift holder, all made with an envelope. All right, so there's that. I love that. All right, so there's that project. So now I'm going to set this aside here because now we're going to bring out our stuff to make this card. Kind of going to do the same thing here. So this time our card goes up and down. So your card base is measured at 4 1/4 by 11, and then you score it at 5 1/2. Okay. Now the very vanilla that's on both sides is 4 by 5 1/4. So I do have 2 pieces of that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach both of them. So we'll do our inside. Just because this color is pretty dark, definitely want to have another color inside. Plus it makes the card a little bit sturdier the more layers that you have. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. All right, now I have a couple pieces of designer series paper here, and I have a plain piece here. I'm just kind of I'm just taking some different like layers, okay? So I have, this is 2 by 5, and this one here is 3 3/4 by 1, and then this one here is 5 1/4 by 1 1/4, and I'm just going to kind of place them down. So I'm going to kind of give this a little bit of an angle here. I'm going to do the solid Night of Navy. I'm just going to kind of do that. And then I'm going to do the stars. And I'm going to kind of angle that out a little bit more. All right. Now I have my Very Vanilla shape here. I don't know what the shape is called, but it is our Tasteful Label dies. And I am going to go ahead and I'm just going to pop that up now because we're not going to stamp on this. So if you're not stamping on it, go ahead and pop it up now. That's not going to hurt it. So we'll do this. All right. I'm going to place that right about there. All right. Now I have 2 pieces of our designer series paper. They're just scrap pieces because this stamp set last year came with some punches. So we are going to use these punches. So I'm going to do the littler one in green. And I'm just going to punch an ornament out, set that aside. Okay. And then I'm going to punch the bigger one out and set that aside. Okay. Now I do have some ribbon here. This ribbon here comes in a 2-pack, and it actually comes in the basket weave and metallic ribbon. So it comes with this copper. I mean, this is the copper, sorry. And it comes with the mint macaron weave. And that is also in your mini catalog. But we're just going to use the copper today. And I'm just going to cut like 2 pieces. I'm just going to snip 2 little pieces here. Because all I'm going to do is I'm going to tie them in a knot. And we're going to just kind of tie them in a knot here. Okay. And I'm going to kind of snip this side off a little bit because I kind of want them to match. And we'll do the same with this one. We're just going to tie it in a knot. All right. I'm going to snip this off. And then I'm going to use my mini glue dots here to attach these on. So I'm going to attach these on at the top. All right. Oops, not that side. I want the side that has the copper. There we go. Now I am going to flip these over because I am going to put a dimensional on the back. I definitely want to give them a little bit of height. So we're going to put the large one down first, kind of overlap the little one like that. And then we still need to do our Merry Christmas. So we are going to have to stamp that again. And of course, do I have enough? Oh, you know what? Hold on. I got to grab a piece of Very Vanilla paper here. There we go. I got one. Kind of big, but that's all right. It's a scrap still. So we're going to get out our pretty peacock, and we're going to do the same thing that we did. We're just going to stamp that like that. Put that away. And then we're just going to cut this out. Again, I'm going to leave a little Very Vanilla like border around it. There we go. And then this one's, I actually kind of looks like I gave that one a little bit bigger border than the other, but that's all right. Kind of like it that way. All right. And then I'm going to place it up. Why are these dimensionals sticking to my finger? I must have a sticky finger today. All right, there we go. So there is a Merry Christmas card. That's actually a pretty simple card to do. Because the bows, you're not tying bows. Bows can be time consuming. You're just tying knots. And it gives it just that extra little look. But yet, you know, the punches, those are pretty simple. This wasn't hard to fussy cut. And the rest is basically just cutting. You have one die. So especially if you had a lot of Christmas cards, or I know some people, a lot of people that I know will do like maybe pick out 5 different Christmas cards that they like, and they'll do like 10 or 20 of each one so that they have a variety of Christmas cards. That's always a great idea too. So this is it. So I will have this today. Underneath is a hostess code. And if you place a minimum order of $35 this week, I will send you the supplies, everything cut, punched for you to make 2 of these and 2 of these. The gift cards do not come with them. Just thought I'd throw that out there. And I will send those to your home, or if you're local, I'll just hand them out to you. And then I will also email you the tutorial of this. And yes, so there's that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Weekly Wednesday. And I will see you next week for another thing of Christmas, because it is 12 Wednesdays before Christmas. All right, you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks for stopping at Amanda'sInspirationStation.com.